Welcome to Prime at 9. I'm Lishin Jesse. Now the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today addressed Bharatiya Janata Party workers across the country virtually. In his address, PM said that the budget will lead India to achieve new heights and achieve its goal. PM took a dig on opposition and said opposition exploited poverty for their own benefits. Bharatiya Janata Party MP from Arunachal Pradesh, Tapir Gao, on reports of 3 more labourers getting kidnapped in the Longding district. He said that it was a very disturbed area and added that he also contacted the Deputy Commissioner of Police. Which underground organisation has kidnapped the 3 labourers? It will have to be seen. Presenting the Union Budget 2022, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on February 1st said that Rs 1 lakh crore allocated to assist states in catalyzing investments in the economy for 2022 to 23. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on February 2nd addressed Bharatiya Janata Party workers across the country virtually and highlighted the vision of the Union Budget 2022. Now for the news in details. The Lieutenant government at a meeting on Wednesday decided to suspend the use of COVID-19 certificates in the country starting on February 5th. To talk more on this, I am joined by Senior News Analyst Al Nguli in the newsroom. Thank you so much, Al, for joining me.
Hello, Lishini.
Yes. Sir, can you please brief us what actually are the uses for COVID-19 vaccine certificates?
Yeah, I think COVID vaccine certificates have been one of the issues that have polarized a lot of people, especially when the pandemic broke out, and after it, of course, with the government and even institutions in the local areas and across the country, they have been pushing for vaccination, and the question of COVID certification also comes up. And yes, there are concerns, but then we are seeing somewhere in Europe, Lithuania, the government has already issued an order, a decision that COVID vaccine certificates will no longer be required. But anyhow, before getting to that, COVID vaccine certificates are an assurance to the beneficiary. It gives the person a certification that he is already vaccinated, what type of vaccine he used, which company, when it's due. So these are the assurances that the person can have. But more than that, Lishini, a COVID vaccine certificate is an assurance to entities. It could be business people, it could be business establishments, it could be travel establishment, and it could be organizers of a certain event that are organized and where public are invited to. It gives them assurance that this person is not a danger to them or the others, because the certificate itself is a proof that this person is vaccinated. He is not only protected, but he is also not someone who is potentially a carrier of the virus to infect others. So it's a proof of assurance for the vaccinated person, listening.
Okay, sir, you see that with the increasing COVID-19 cases and also the new emergence of the new variants, you see that so many people are actually looking out for COVID vaccines and then getting it. So what might be the reason that the Lithuanian is suspending its COVID-19 vaccine certificates?
Yeah, it's also surprising, Lishni, because I think they are the first country in the world to actually suspend its COVID vaccine certificates, Lishni. And this COVID vaccine certificate is something that every government in the world, they have started enforcing it, they have started asking for it, and they're making sure that the citizens carry it. But this government, they are just suspending it. The reason that so far we know is that they feel, the Lithuanian government, they feel that the latest COVID virus variant, that is Omicron, it is not it is not vulnerable to vaccines. Actually, vaccines are not effective against the Omicron variant. That's what they are saying, which means that both vaccinated and unvaccinated people are in danger, as well as those people who were infected previously and had recovered. They are all vulnerable to the virus, and the vaccine cannot help them. So which means the COVID vaccine certificates and its effectiveness is already reduced and diminished. So they feel that they don't have the need for it right now. They might introduce it later in the future, but certainly not now, Lishane.
Okay, sir, then what do you think is the implication of vaccine certificates on a country, and how does it, translate for COVID certificates in India?
Yeah, right now I do not know if the Indian government have any certificate agreement with Lithuania, but what we know right now is that once you have suspended it, it means either you stop your citizens from traveling abroad, or you stop others from coming in, which means you have to tighten the borders, you have to increase the COVID prevention protocols, you have to engage a lot of enforcement mechanism to control the spread of the virus, because now you don't rely on vaccines, you don't rely on the need for a COVID vaccine certificate from others or from yourself. So the implication would be that unless the Lithuanian government opens its borders and they still allow citizens to travel in and out, then I think the implication, and the most obvious one of them, is that I think there will be a very big surge in the number of cases in the country, and then there will be a surge of cases in the countries that citizens of Lithuania travel to. So right now the most obvious implication will be spreading the virus, of course, and a surge in it, and hopefully I hope it doesn't happen, Lishane.
Okay, thank you, Al, for joining me and giving an update on this big story. Moving further with more news, the atmosphere in Manipur is buzzing as it goes to polls in two phases, the first on the 27th of February and the second on the 3rd of March. BJP had on the 30th of Jan released a list of candidates, and the thing that caught everyone's attention was that the BJP had decided to fight elections in all 60 constituencies of the state. What also came to attention was 10 defectors of the Congress and other political parties were given tickets from the BJP camp, which then led to burning of effigies of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and incumbent Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. And just yesterday, the leaders of the BJP that did not get the tickets were welcomed by the NPP. Now, as the election date approaches, the other parties too are all gearing up. Making an entry into the state, the Janata Dal United has released a list of 30 candidates, whereas Conrad Sangma's NPP, which had earlier announced a list of 20 candidates, have added another 13 to the list. Naga People's Front have also released a list of 10 candidates, and the official handing over tickets will happen today. 38 constituencies will go to polls on the 27th of March, and the parties are all making sure that they are ready. The coveted Under-19 Late G Rio tournament has come to a close. Defending champions Dimapur once again lifted the coveted trophy for the second time after defeating Wakha by 87 runs. Dimapur, after having won the toss and opted to bat first, could manage to put up a defendable total of 211 runs, losing 6 wickets in their allotted 50 overs. Dimapur had a shaky start as they lost their first wicket in the second over. However, Mugavi Sumi 34 runs and wicket-keeper and captain Ugandar Singh 49 runs steadied their innings as they shared a 95 runs partnership before the captain was run out by Randenbemo Odio. Dimapur had a double blow when Mugavi Sumi lost his wicket to John Shetry in successive deliveries. However, Dimapur middle orders managed to put up some fine show and kept the innings alive. Quick knocks from Krivitso Kensi 32 runs not out and Alutosumi 22 runs took Dimapur to a respectable total. For Waka, Techamo took 3 wickets. In the run chase, Waka had a poor start as they lost both of their openers cheaply. However, the middle order batsmen gave a tough fight to the bowlers before they were all eventually bundled up for 124 runs, 34.5 overs. Major run scorers for Waka were Renjan Thang 37 runs, Renbeni Kikon 27 runs and Techamo Odio 18 runs. For Dimapur, Nizeko Ropreo scupped 4 wickets while Krivitso Kensi and Poiring got 3 wickets each. The prize distribution and closing program was graced by Shri T. John Longkumar, IPS Director General of Police, Nagaland. Nagaland Zoological Park, located at Rangapahar, Dimapur, which is said to be the abode of the wildlife, was closed during COVID-19 pandemic. HornbillTV today interviewed the director of the park, Dr. Zupeni Sanglai, IFS, concerning to park activities post-pandemic and issues related to conservation of endangered species of animals and birds of Nagaland. Let's have a look at the detailed report.
Abode of the Wild, Nagaland Zoological Park, Director Dr. Zubeni, IFS. আমি খান লতে আজি আছে আইবি আমি খান নাগাল্যান্ড জুলজিক্যাল পার্ক তৈলে পোস্ট প্যান্ডেমিক পিছিতে কেনেগা চলি আছে কি নতুন এডিশনস আছে ইটো হন জানিব আইবি আৰু ইটো লগতে আমি খান এনিমেলস ল ওপৰতে বেছি কথা জানিবলৈ আছে আজি ইয়েস ডক্টৰ ওয়েলকাম টু হৰ্নবিল টিভি
থ্যাংক ইউ
আফটাৰ প্যান্ডেমিক কেনেগা চলি আছে এতিয়া তো নাগাল্যান্ড জুলজিক্যাল পার্ক
পেন্ডেমিক পিছিতে ভিজিটাৰ্স খান বি বেছি আহি আছে especially during Christmas season, December moina de do, or New Year de, January 1st, naga hande do bishaishe, and visitors can, or after the pachakan chuti hua bishide, school exams can over hua bishide, families can bishi visit kurule do ahish.
Afnigan COVID oporte preventive measures kan do kine lo asim, itu visitors kan oporte.
Tahan sob ke instruction do ase bahar dibi mohan likhina ase ki tahan sob manubi SOP do kurbi koina to mask khan aro social distancing khan do kurbi koina mohan koina ase aro kumba mask nahi gina ahya khan kete rokhai gina tahan ge aro jawna de aro maxi lagaina jabi koina tahan ge koi
Nagaland dile 50% bro bisi do forest cover ase koi na holi bi animals khan ti man na dikhe birds khan man na dikhe wild de inega koi manuhan itu reason to ki ase
The most important reason is mohan ajikali the population bishi increase hwa bra so manubi jaga de mohan ti forest kore aro logging khan kuribo aro itu bra aro itukala noina hunting bi mohan bishi kuri thake do mohan forefathers khan bra one hunters ase to inaga laga reason hwa karne mohan bishi la do population do decline hui jese na pabi no hai komba jaga de do thakibo etia bi holibi population do etia do bishi komti hui jese
Yes, Amigan Nagaland is सबसे vulnerable noily भी एकदम endangered species ला animal noily भी birds तो कुंदु ऐसे अपनी सब देती है.
Birds can do like amihan hornbill can ase hornbill different species of hornbill aro amihan la state and bird to mohan like the dragoban idu khan do bishi ita do komti bi huase amihan na idu khan do bishi vulnerable state means bishi komti hui jase aste bra idu khan do preserve korobole lage mohan na aro animal can be different species alag ase like slow loris can be ase to khan do pai thake mohan na hotai din aro tiger khan nishna do na pai yede do mohan na holibi leopard cat khan holibi aro leopard khan holibi alag aro ani different species mohan itia idu khan do olop threat te ase mohan komti hui jase mohan la na jaga dibi
Nega endangered species la kiba janwar noily bi chiria khan eti park ti to rakhi asna naiti
migan hornbill do rakhi na ase etia aro endangered animals khan do tiger khan bi ase aro leopard khan bi rakhi na ase aro ini de reptiles khan bi manuria species na etu khan do endangered status ase to khan bi rakhi na ase
acha ami khan ketiba social medias khan de pai thake visitors khan pra likhi thake park tuile bhal ase hoilibi non biodegradable waste khan na plastic waste khan etu khan to bishi pai thake jaga de kile nega ase aru reason ki ase tu aru apni la message ki ase?
Actually ami han itu plastic waste khan do park line side te do allowed no hoi goi na bi ami han likhi na bi ase aro itu do plastic free zone banawo goi na bi ami han itu ekta puila bra mo han inaga korina ase holibi most of the time ami han itu visitors khan aha khan bi ami ta khan khai gina ini jaga jaga de phekai gina jai dustbin khan do all over the places enclosure khan la sorde mohan ko de visitors ahibo itu khan sob install korina ase mohan holibi most of the time itu care na korina ta khan efale phekai de to itu la hisab te mohan diktar bai jai do bra ami han itu kon ahilibi responsible bra ki khailibi ta khan dispose to thik pra kuri dile do itu bishi bhal hobo goina ta hangi bi common ase ki gole e dogan do sob park to sob manula ase mohan bi nijor sob manu bi ahagina visit kora do enjoy kora do aro sapa rakhi gina jabole garne sob manu bi bhabile bishi khushi hobo itu sob garne bhal hobo ami han park la authority khan garne bi bhal hobo
In coming this notun animals khan kiba addition hobole ase niki noile bi infrastructure khan de kiba upgradations khan kiba jabole ase niki aitu janibo paribo
itu ami han latest etia ahibole thaka do kharel ase itu ahibo etia na mohan officially itu exchange karne do sob khatam hoise ami khan jaigina lobo na pari ase etia lop covid cases khan uthia bra mohan jawo na pari na ase itu khan khushi gule do kharel aro new edition ahibole ase
ami khan bekta edition question ekta ase itu dile kunba manu khan wild animals khan noile birds khan kiba park te contribute dibole enega munjai gule tahan ki kenega procedures kuru lagibo aru enega kura time te tahan kiba compensation khan paine ki monetary compensations khan
actually do tahan ami hangi information de through the staff no lebi ami logo direct no lebi nega koi ami han enega ekta animal paigina se jongol bra holibi to enega se tahan ani dibu de enega koi idu tamde mukhan pothaigina luyani mukhan bra aro as such mon idu do compensation khan ekuna de aro appreciation kobole karne do edu ekta likhigina do dibole pare holibi enega compensation khan do ekuna de.
As the Postal Department had introduced a core system integration technology in post offices, coping up with the rest of the nation's Dimapur Postmaster General said that the state will be witnessing an upgradation in the system of process from February 8. With regards to the upgradation of system of financial balances has been updated to the new CSI system. Postmaster General Dimapur Som Kamai said that the state has over 500 post offices and it will be covered under CSI system. Let's have a look at the report.
Ita moi post office Dimapur te aina ase to sop Nagaland te itu core system integration rollout kuribo nimite aji February 2nd bra suru kurigina ete sop post office te itu postal transaction to itu suspend kurigina itu date 7 February tak jabo koi ase to mogan jani paise itu yade Dimapur te ekla noigina sop Nagaland itu divisional post office kande itu transactional postal transactional to cancel kurigina takan itu core system integration to roll out kuribo nimite takan ita prepare kuri ase to mogan itia yade Dimapur post office te bi aigena mogan itu CSI roll out kuribo nimite itu kinika jai ase aro itu core system integration kura pichide itu kinika itu public kan nimite advantages aro ki ase itu janibo nimite mogan yatia na ase to itia mogan itu postmaster general logo de itu CSI la kinika ase itu opor details janibo nimite postmaster general logo mogan itia huni sabo.
India Post is migrating to a core system integrator. It's a system in which the operation part, the administrative part, and also the accounting part all be integrated in one system. This is a little complicated integration process, so we had to stop the transition for data sanitization. It takes a few days because we can't make mistakes here. So I request the public to bear with us for a few days, but I can assure you that my post office will reopen with a better better services and more efficient system. And also the fact that during this closure for the next 5 days, only the delivery of the mails and parcels and all the speed posts will continue. That I can assure. But only the financial transaction and booking of articles will not be accepted because we use this system for booking all this system. So I hope that our public, Nagaland public, will bear with us for some time. But it's just a temporary process, and I hope that we can give a better service after this. I think the system, the public can expect a better service. They can track the incoming articles, parcels, and also even for the banking service, they'll get their, if they update your mobile number with us, whoever has account, all the SMS service like other banks, like whenever you use our service, they will give all this after sales service also. All these things, since it is integrated, you will get all the messages. Suppose you have to pay recurring deposit, or you have some other Sukanya Samriddhi account, where you will be reminded by SMS, because it's all part of the system. Like all this modernized, you can say, and also up-to-date system will be in place like other banks, so that reminder can be sent, and also you can track your articles real time like any other courier. Right now, if you go to our website, you can track your article, but it may not be real time. But once we integrate this with the system, stage by stage tracking of your articles can be done. So this is a big jump for us. We have around 500 post office in Nagaland combined. So I'm talking about the head office, the sub offices, and also the branch offices in the villages. Every post office in Nagaland will be covered here. So as an administrator, I can assure you that sitting in my office, I can know what is going on in Penang or Mon or Kiferi and Fake by sitting in Dimapur. I will know that when my postmaster has opened his account or log into the system, at what time. All this monitoring will improve, I hope, the service to the public. The challenges could be, like you said, network. Now, this is network connectivity is beyond our control. But I hope that our service provider gives us good network connectivity, because we are depending on third-party service for this, like other banks and others. But we are like our ministry, with this Ministry of Communication, we are in touch with our sister organization like BSNL and all to improve whenever there's a problem and connectivity. That's why with their support only we are able to now 100% migrate to this CSI system. So connectivity is an issue, but I hope that we can overcome this. Like if other banks can function, we can also function. By 7th of February, we will restart the transaction, normal postal transaction.
As the state witnessed surge in COVID cases and a recent detection of 54 Omicron cases from the state, HornbillTV interviewed with Chief Medical Officer Dimapur to know more about the COVID situation and the preparedness to tackle COVID-19 in the state. Let's have a look at the detailed report.
Omicron cases noilbe dusra COVID variant kala case BBC utiase to especially Dimapur de one COVID eventuality nimide kinega COVID preparedness to kinega se ayole din de by chance ma cases BC utisho bele kinega handle kurule laga stand there se ta mo Dimapur especially.
As we have seen in the paper, Omicron is already here in the state, and seeing the number of positive, sometimes we feel that it is quite high, but then again, if we see the number of patients admitted in the hospital, it's amakanbi thati ulap iman to severe noi iniga amakanbi papiase ito korni positive patient hoise bi hospitalization rate kom diwa garni amakanbi iman do panicky state tv na idea as of now. This time though, beforehand, CIHSR day 200 bedded to olai jaise. So that the ventilator say all the facilities there, it is ready 200 bedded. Now hospital DB 100 bedded. During the second wave preparation time there, like the 50 bedded fully equipped with ventilator, oxygen, prepare kurigina thakise. So itu bichite again, the government they came up with a prefabricated 100-bedded, so that is also complete now. So as of now, 200 in referral hospital and then 100 here in the district hospital for COVID, and then the number of patients admitted now, I feel that it is quite, we are in a comfortable position now, as of now.
Dimapur district COVID eventuality handle kurule ready asna
With the infrastructure and the logistic which we have now, and I feel that we are confident to handle, because poila kwanishina at one point of time oxygen bichi lagi tagise last year, na. So itu bichite oxygen plant bichi ai jaise. We received so many oxygen cylinder also. We received so many ventilators paise. Aro itu nishina oxygen concentrator, which it has reached up to the sub-center level also. Poila do hospital tangor dibi thakana even that concentrator. Well, dibi itia do sub-center level da distribute kuri digana si it's in place now. So one issue may be manpower. Amakan manpower ulap shortage. Bishi heavy load hoise goile. Ido manpower side ti ulap problem bi hobo bi pare. Only bi itia thakto with this present situation, we are quite comfortable and we are confident. My message to public is amakan that COVID appropriate behavior. COVID vaccination to bishi tati issue bi olayase. There's so many fake news is also going on also. Only bi amakan saja isapti to bishi morado COVID vaccine namara khani bishi morigana ase. So whatever ki khobor honile bi, we feel that COVID vaccine is working and it is effective. Itu karone kun kan vaccine loanai parili lobi. That is my humble request, because we don't have any medicine as of now for this COVID. Our only protection is to follow the COVID appropriate behavior and then the vaccine.
That's all we have for now. Stay tuned for more news with HornbillTV.